I'm Henry.
And I'm Robert.
And we're
Just Two Guys 2026.
Welcome to our live NFL draft show. Woohoo! This is exciting. I'm excited. Are you excited?
And the Las Vegas Raiders are on the clock. The one guarantee we think is Fernando Mendoza going to the Raiders at number 1. So, we'll see. Las Vegas needs a franchise quarterback, guys. I don't see anything else other than that. I think they're standing pat. So this, to me, would be the biggest sure thing in this draft. Other than that, it's a toss-up. It's a toss-up.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. This could be a lot of trade downs. There could be some trade ups, and it also could be boring. Everybody could just pick and we're done. But I would like to see Arizona trade down. The reason why I don't agree with them projected to get Jeremiah Love, the main reason is they don't have an offensive line. So why are you going to be drafting a Cadillac when you don't have a garage? So, and that's what happened with Ashton Jeanty last year with the Raiders. They didn't have an offensive line to block, and we saw that he struggled all year long with flashes of brilliance. So the Vegas Raiders need to have an offensive line and a quarterback, and I do believe they address all of those needs in this draft. So with the first pick, it's the Las Vegas Raiders. I think it's going to be Mendoza. What do you think?
Absolutely. I would be amazed if it's not. You talk about a complete turn of events. It would be utterly amazing if he did not go to the Raiders. But like I said, anything can happen. So,
well, I'm kind of hoping that there's a few teams that trade down because the teams that want to trade up don't want Jeremiah Love. And we both would like to have Jeremiah Love in Washington.
Carnell Tate.
Now, Jeremiah Love first and Carnell Tate second. If Sonny Styles and Downs would be my third, tied for third. But and who knows, if Sonny Styles ends up being a Bobby Wagner 2.0, I think then Washington wins.
Well,
because Bobby Wagner
would be a win-win for us.
Bobby Wagner in his prime was magnificent in Seattle.
Yeah,
so
it would be a win-win.
It would be a win-win situation. So the Raiders are on the clock with the pick coming in shortly. We both agree, Fernando Mendoza. Fernando Mendoza.
Let's listen and see what happens.
What do you think? Does anybody have any thoughts? Message us. Let us know what you think. The Raiders after Mendoza, I think, would be in their best interest for wide receivers and offensive linemen. You have a quarterback, you have Brock Bowers, you have Ashton Jeanty, so you have a lot of pieces there. Crosby ended up staying as a defensive end because of the drama of that trade with the Ravens didn't drop. So now you have a significant cog at defense because I don't see them trading him.
You have the nucleus there.
So you have a nucleus on both sides of the ball, and the Raiders are primed to make some improvements with, I would say, a pre-draft analysis. I don't see the Raiders being better than 8 and 9, to be honest with you, but that's a huge improvement from last year. And again, who knows if Mendoza will be playing the entire season or if he's going to start the first game. I say you should. I know they have Kirk Cousins. They may want to bring him in slowly, maybe see if Kirk Cousins can get them to the playoffs. And then if they don't, then you start Mendoza. But I'm a firm believer of starting your quarterback from day one and let him go through the lumps and bruises and figuring it out. It's only going to make him tougher when it matters the most in the playoffs.
I'd like to see Kirk play some games. As a former Redskin, I did like him when he played with us.
Now, he got that raw deal here in Washington.
He got a raw deal.
Everywhere he goes, everyone blames him for no playoffs. And I'm like, it takes a whole team to get to the playoffs. No. So he got a raw deal.
And I'm happy he's getting a payday. He's amazing when it comes to getting paydays. There's nobody better in the NFL. Nobody.
Is it the first pick yet? No, we haven't heard it. Are you watching on your draft tracker? This is our first live draft show, so
we're very excited.
We'll probably be here for 25 more, so stay tuned as we improve and grow. Okay, here we go. I wonder who's up on the stadium for the Raiders or the podium. Oh, it's the commissioner. Yeah, the Raiders are on the clock, and I think that they're about to announce the pick. The draft is being held live in Pittsburgh, by the way.
Pittsburgh people.
Yeah, and it was 80 degrees there, so much warmer than here.
There's a lot of people.
Oh, brother. You hear the guy say 6-time Super Bowl champion. We're waiting to hear something. Really don't have much to say about.
We're on pins and needles.
Pins and needles, and it's easy. Mendoza to the Raiders, but we'll get verification on that shortly. Brother, they have a Steeler on the podium running his mouth. Wah, wah, wah.
This could take a long time.
It can't take more than 8 minutes. Last year was 10, thank God. I mean, now it's 8, so we'll be done by 10 o'clock. But
no,
we're not going to be here till midnight. Oh, jeez. How do you think Mendoza will be successful? Because they didn't give.
I'm not saying he's going to be incredibly successful. I'm saying he's going to get smashed. He's going to get pushed around. He's going to take some lumps, but he'll survive. He'll survive. I hope he doesn't get hurt.
I need to shut this off.
I hope he doesn't get hurt.
All my football friends in fantasy are texting on our group, and it's going to be a ding dong show if I have the volume on my phone. I don't want to hear all those dings.
Let's not hear the dings.
Never shut up. Especially the guy who's a Raider fan.
Yeah, he's going to be crazy.
Yeah, he's going to be acting crazy. All right, the pick should be coming in any second, any minute now. All right, we're sitting here waiting, excited. And I'm not even a Raiders fan, for Christ's sake. Did they just Bradshaw's announcing the pick? We should have a TV up in here, but we're still building our studio.
Yeah, bits and pieces.
Bits and pieces, slow and steady, wins the race. I don't know. Uh-oh. It's the commissioner. Oh, great. They just put the Raiders on the clock now. Unless they know what they want. It's going to be 8 minutes in between each pick. So
that's
7 times 8 is 56 minutes. We'll be here for about an hour and 10 minutes. And we'll have a lot more to talk about when the other teams pick, because this one's a no-brainer for us.
And they're dragging out everybody. Mel Blount, Terry Bradshaw.
Again, and not a lot of mystery. It's Fernando Mendoza. I don't see anybody else. Who's your favorite analyst? Adam Schefter?
I do like Schefter.
I like Adam Schefter. I can't stand Mel Kiper. I think he's an idiot. And I give Dan Orlovsky a pass because he has an autistic son and he's adorable.
I'm not a big
well, no, we just said Kiper. I don't like Kiper. it'll be interesting, the number 2 pick, because I believe the Jets want an edge. And they'll be choosing between Reese and
Bailey, yeah. A lot
Bailey
of people have
Texas
A&M
A&M.
going to the Jets.
I have David Bailey.
So I believe he's going to be one of those two that goes to the Jets. But we'll see.
Hold on.
That's quite an accomplishment.
So Fernando Mendoza is one of the few quarterbacks who won the national championship,
The Heisman
Trophy, and was a first-round draft, for the number 1 pick. Why is everyone on Arch Manning's nuts? He is terrible. The Manning train is done. Stay away from the Mannings. Still on the clock. All right, the Raiders are still on the clock. Are we allowed to drink water on camera?
You can drink anything you want.
Excuse me, guys, I'm thirsty. Did they pick him already, or they were talking about other people? Yeah, they're talking about other people. Again, Fernando Mendoza.
They're stretching it out.
Well, I mean, it's a network. They get money like that. What they should do is 5 minutes. You know who you're going to get. Unless you're going to do a trade, then you send it over and you say you need 3 more minutes.
Just make the pick.
How about the Giants trading Dexter Lawrence and getting another top 10 pick, number 5 and 10?
So that 5 and 10. That's right. 10. That was a good move for them.
It's funny they wanted 2 first-rounders for, and they couldn't get it.
Good move.
Okay, hold on. We haven't heard the jingle yet. You know the infamous jingle? Hold on. Oh, crap. That always happens.
Make the pick already.
Yep. They're talking about him being behind center in the NFL and how it translate, or in college to the NFL, his style of play. He's just smooth. He just reminds me of a solid quarterback.
He's a dynamic quarterback. Yeah, he really is. I believe he's going to have a bright future. Hopefully he won't get too banged up here.
And again, before this draft pick, I don't understand how the NFL has gone away from protecting quarterbacks. You have probably the collection of most talented quarterbacks ever in the history of the game, and in the game, total number of great quarterbacks, and they're running for their lives. I'm a Washington Redskins fan. I remember 1991. Mark Rippon couldn't run the 50-yard dash in 50 days, and he didn't get sacked. That's what you need to be successful. And once that gets back in the NFL, we'll have a dominant team again. But in general, anybody can do it. But why is everybody wide receivers that run too fast and dynamic quarterbacks that once you hit them, they break? Offensive line.
Let's stop the from killing the quarterbacks. Let them not run for their lives.
And how ironic, Indiana only had one other appearance, I believe, in the college football playoffs, or maybe years ago they won the national championship once, but they've been irrelevant for so long. Fernando Mendoza each year got better and better and better, and the talent around him got better and better.
You put him on the map.
They put Indiana back on the map, because Indiana is not a football town; it's a basketball town. The Hoosiers.
Many of those, all many titles with Bobby Knight.
Fernando Mendoza, number 1. That was the easiest pick in the whole draft. That was the easiest pick. So Fernando Mendoza goes to the Radiants. There's no secret.
No secret.
All right. Now the New York Jets are on the clock.
Well,
and
not yet. They're not on the clock.
Oh, yeah, right after.
They haven't announced it.
They just did.
Are the Jets on the clock? I don't see them coming up.
They haven't refreshed it yet. But the pick just went in for Fernando Mendoza, and they're now on the clock. So Mel Kiper had Alvarez Reese here. You had Alvarez Reese here, I believe. Recently, David Bailey has jumped up to possibly number 2. Oh, that's right. They have to do the kisses and then interview him and all this other stuff. So we might be here for a while. So we may say something in between all these picks and stuff. We lost our viewer, but he's.
I know, we could sit here and talk, but I mean, what's the point? I mean, we're gonna talk. We're gonna say something relevant.
Well, the Jets with the number 2 pick actually have significant pieces. I think their issue was coaching and general management.
The coaching was horrible.
The whole coaching was horrible. How does your offense suck with Garrett Wilson and their running back Breece Hall? I don't understand.
Great running back.
And then Mechie, he was a great number 2. I don't understand. So I think the Jets would be better suited with a defensive player right now. I think offensively they have a quarterback, they have a wide receiver, and a number 1 running back. So I really believe
we're going to see.
We're going to see.
I think it's going to be either Reese or Bailey, one or the other. I really do. It would be interesting if they didn't go with an edge. So we'll see what happens here very soon.
Yes.
That's right. We just talked about them.
You want to make
Alvaro Reese and
What do you think right now? I think it's going to be. Mike Parsons has sacks, but I don't think he's unstoppable. I think he's a little reckless.
They picked David Bailey.
Hold on, no, it hasn't come out yet. They haven't done the do. Just wait. We're still talking. All right, they're behind. So we'll announce it. Oh shit. With the number 2 pick in the NFL 2026 NFL draft, ESPN has already posted on their website that David Bailey is going to the New York Jets. He moved up really quickly. And he even canceled his workout with them. When everyone was trying to put a negative spin on it, they already knew they were getting it. They said, don't worry about it. So it's already gone to number 2, and the Jets take David Bailey from Texas A&M, an edge rusher. I think this is a great pick for them, because he could also play a hybrid position at the outside linebacker too. They're still talking about it, but they've already reported it. It hasn't been reported on ESPN, but the app had David Bailey already going number 2 to the Jets. They've already printed it out. And technically on the clock right now is the Cardinals. So I wonder if there's a delay from the TV into the computer.
There definitely is.
There might be a little bit of a delay. So once the internet breaks what the picks are before the TV, we will let you know.
So we're a little bit ahead.
Yeah, so I'm glad they took David Bailey. I think that's the best pick for them. Okay, here we go. This is where they're announcing David Bailey, number 2 to the New York Jets. And on the clock is the Cardinals. And this is where I think a trade down can happen.
There it is.
Yep. It was just announced on TV. David Bailey to the Cardinals. We have the insider news first. So
you're gonna know the next pick before you see it on TV.
See it on TV. We'll keep you up to date. So how do you like David Bailey in New York?
I like that.
I like David Bailey in New York because I can only mention one defender on that team, and that is Sauce Gardner. And their defense needed to improve. They couldn't get off the field. So I really like this pick.
I think he'll have an impact.
I think he'll impact the entire defensive line because some of their players that are good were struggling because they were getting double teamed. So I think David Bailey will open up the defense, and now you have to strategically plan for whoever may be on the edge.
That's right.
You can't just focus on.
I think it's a very good pick.
I think it's a great pick for them, and especially with Aaron Glenn being a defensive-minded coach, I kind of felt defense all the way. We felt defense all the way. So now we have the Arizona Cardinals on the clock. This is where I think someone could trade up.
We had different people going. I had Francis, the offensive tackle. What is it? Manalgoa?
It's Francis Malgoa.
Francis Malgoa. That's who I predicted.
Ask him to pronounce the Tampa Bay's rookie receiver last year.
That's the deal.
And look, they have that, and I'm looking. Okay, you guys, look. Here's a lot of things here that the Arizona Cardinals can do. They're also in the situation that the Raiders were in last year when they got Ashton Jeanty, a Cadillac with no garage, a Ferrari with no engine. So the Arizona Cardinals does not have an offensive line. James Conner, everyone in that backfield last year was injured for a significant amount of time. They have no significant offensive line. So my heart may be speaking above my mind here because, again, Jeremiah Love may struggle and get unnecessary hits. And it just doesn't fit here. What fits with Arizona, believe it or not, is an offensive tackle. This is why I think they should trade down, acquire more picks, and you can get Francis Malgoa or the other guy's name, the other offensive tackle. Spencer Fano. And both of them actually are predicted to go after 10. So you could definitely trade down and gain an offensive player and more picks to help protect your quarterback, who is right now Jacoby Brissett, which isn't bad, but if you can't protect him, he's not going to do anything either. So I think in this situation, if I were the Cardinals, I would trade down. I would draft Francis Malgoa or what was the other guy's name? Spencer Fano. And with the extra. Okay, here it comes. I think that refresh your screen. Go back to the original screen you were on. Not that one. No. The other one. Do this right there. Yeah, stay there. Okay. Cardinals are still on the clock. Quick, what's your pick off the top of your head right now?
I think they're going to go with Magoa.
I think they're going to trade back, and that's the only way they're going to go with the tackle. I think if Arizona stands pat, we lose Jeremiah Love. Now, there are some people who believe Arvell Reese will go here. That makes the most sense to me, but I don't think that that's going to be the case. Unless they trade down, and right now they're so far into they're on the clock, I don't think they're not trading back. They're not trading back.
We're going to see here. We're
going to see here in a moment. The next pick was the Arizona Cardinals at number 3. Just a quick recap: Mendoza number 1 to the Las Vegas Raiders, and David Bailey to the New York Jets at number 2. You know what's really interesting here? All the teams with 2 picks in this draft. There's like 7 of them. Cowboys.
That's right.
I believe
Giants,
the Arizona Cardinals, the Giants, and the Browns, even the Jets. The way you refresh it, pull down harder. Keep doing that. Show you if they did anything. Not yet. Okay. Come here. My little dog's at our feet. I mean, if we're now thinking with my heart as a Redskin Commander fan, I really kind of want Washington to get Jeremiah Love.
Or Cardinals.
The reason being for me is because you now have 3 players. You can't double team Terry McLaurin because you're going to have to cheat someone up to prevent the run and to prevent Jaden Daniels from doing what he does with his legs. Now, I think there'll be less runs for Jaden Daniels, but he can burn you at any minute, even in a broken play. So I think it's going to be a tremendous mismatch with that. But now, for the record, I do love Rachaad White, and I love Bill Cross-Merritt. I really do.
We love Bill.
I think Bill can be a 1,000-yard rusher, even with Jeremiah Love. Even with Jeremiah Love. When we looked at what Bill did last year, he averaged over 5 yards a carry, almost 6. And that was with the makeshift line that was decimated by injury.
That's right.
Oh, the pick is in.
Jeremiah Love.
Damn!
They picked Jeremiah Love.
So Jeremiah Love off the board. Again, I believe he's an excellent player. I believe that he is awesome. But again, you don't have the support to give him what he needs to run effectively. He's going to struggle this year in Arizona. Yeah, he's going to struggle. But I think it's a solid pick. Only because, they wanted to have something on offense. They do have a decent offense, actually. So Jacoby Brissett was set. They have McBride at tight end. They have Marvin Harrison Jr. on the outside. And now they have Jeremiah Love in the backfield. So it makes a little bit of sense from a standpoint of the players that you have on your team.
But they don't have a
defensive offensive line, which is going to hurt them.
It's going to hurt them, man.
And I'm a little bitter because Jeremiah Love is off the board. Now, here's an interesting thing. Let's see the drawback here. So, one of Washington's top 3 players in this draft, what they wanted is gone. And I believe he was their number 1. So, I think Jeremiah Love, now taken by the Arizona Cardinals at number 3. Washington still has Caleb Downs and Carnell Tate on their board. Now, the Tennessee Titans, I believe Jeremiah Love would have been taken there as well. So now the Tennessee Titans, no Jeremiah Love, no other running back is worthy of a top first-round pick. I really believe that the Arizona Cardinals or the Tennessee Titans are going to shock the hell out of everybody and take a Francis Maldonado.
Really?
You got to have somebody to protect Cam Ward because Cam Ward was running for his life last year.
That would be interesting. Let's see what
I think
either that or Spencer Farno.
No, I think the number 1 on everyone's draft board is Francis Maldonado.
Okay.
I believe the Tennessee Titans are going to go with Francis Maldonado. It makes the most sense for me. You have a franchise quarterback. You need a franchise left tackle. That's as easy as it gets. Look what Washington did to come in and protect Jaden Daniels. They got Laramie Tunsil, and he's rounded into shape, and he's playing much better the second half of the season than he did the first half. So I really believe that was huge. And look, it's a trend. You got a dynamic quarterback. You need that blind side covered. So I'm thinking that the Tennessee Titans here are going to go with Francis Maldonado from Miami. What do you think?
I don't know. I think it would be interesting if they did. Interesting if they did.
Oh, and I forgot to play the jingle. Now, on the clock is the Tennessee Titans. And I have to be honest with everybody, I really don't think the Tennessee Titans are going to make a big splash here with anybody like Carnell Tate or a defense. I don't think Arvell Reese goes here. I think Arvell Reese is going to drop in the lap of the New York Giants, which is going to give them a tough decision because they want a wide receiver opposite of Malik Neighbors. After Malik got hurt last year, even though the Giants were 5th in the NFL in rushing, I think the 5th ranking came before Carnell Tate got hurt. Because the run game really suffered after that injury, even though they may have gotten a lot of yards, but it didn't translate to victories. So I really do believe
it could be Tate.
I think the Tennessee Titans are going to go with Francis Maldoa.
Either that or Spencer Farmer. No. Carnell Tate goes to the Titans.
How do you know? They just did the bubble?
Carnell Tate.
Shh, you're supposed to do the thing. Wait a minute. Where'd you
I'm
see
telling you
that?
right now. I just saw it.
No, it's up here. Oops. Right there. Carnell. Okay. Breaking news. Carnell Tate goes to the Tennessee Titans. And you know what? We should have seen this. You know why? Because you have a franchise quarterback. Can you name any wide receiver on the Tennessee Titans?
No.
So now you have a franchise quarterback paired up with Carnell Tate, who is the most polished wide receiver in the draft. Again, he reminds me of Mark precision route running, yak after the catch, and he's tough. I really like this pick for the Tennessee Titans right now. I really do. I think the Tennessee Titans got a really good professional player in Carnell Tate. So,
wow.
With Carnell Tate now to the Tennessee Titans, the Washington Redskins Commanders lose out on 2 of their top players that they wanted, which was Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Love. Washington may shift to defense now.
Sonny stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Defense now. I think Washington may shift to defense. Washington could trade back because Makai Lemon. So let's just see what happens. Right now, the New York Giants are on the clock. No, we wait till they get the pick.
Jingle.
We're having fun, guys. We love what we do, and we're going to really build this up. We're going to be better every time we do this. We're going to be bringing in guests.
I'm
going to be doing
shocked.
all kinds of things. I know I'm still shell-shocked. But again, you know what? It makes sense. I don't understand how anyone missed that. If you don't get Jeremiah Love to go in the backfield with Cam Ward, you get a dynamic #1 wide receiver. Because their defense wasn't bad. Their defense was feisty. And their defense kept them in many games. But of course, you didn't have an offense to stay on the field long enough to tire out the opposing opposition's defense.
He is a good quarterback.
Oh, Cam Ward was excellent. He did great. He just didn't do enough to help them win. But he was solid. So I like this pick from a strategic standpoint. I really do. So now we have the New York Giants. Are they going?
Anything can happen.
Are they going to take Jordan Tyson? Are they going to go after a wide receiver to pair to pair up with Malik Neighbors? The draft has really gone in an interesting spin.
I don't know.
With Jeremiah Love going 3 and Carnell Tate going 4. I'm going to tell you that I think the Giants are going to go with Jordan Tyson of San Diego State. I think so. They're going to surprise everyone. So right now, what we thought was going to be a mundane, pretty simple draft, I'm shocked Carnell Tate was at 3 or at 4, and I'm shocked that Jeremiah Love went to a place where they have no garage to fit the Maserati.
I think that the Giants are going to make their defense even better, and they're going to go with Reese. That's my pick.
They're saying the same thing. Did you hear me?
Yes.
Makai Lemon and Jordan Tyson, they're talking for the Giants. It makes the most sense to me because the Giants already have a fierce pass rush. Dexter Lawrence was off last year, not as effective, but he's very good. With Brian Burns, Abdul Carter, Kayvon Thibodeau, they have a pass rush and a defensive front 7 that is effective, that is almost even more than effective. So I really believe the offense that Neighbors went down, everybody else sort of struggled. So I'm gonna go on a limb here. I'm going to say Makai Lemon.
I'm going on a limb, and I'm going to say Alva Reese. I think they're going to be even more intense on defense.
So when you think of this, Arvell Reese is another Brian Burns and another Abdul Carter. Brian Burns and Abdul Carter kind of hybrid big linebackers, outside linebackers, not prototypical defensive ends. And Arvell Reese is a linebacker edge. So who knows? If they bring in Arvell Reese, does that mean there's going to be a June 1st designation for someone on the defensive side? Because I think you have a lot of players playing the same position with Abdul Carter, Brian Burns, and Arvell Reese. Again, the way the draft is with the second and third pick, or the third and fourth pick, I'm shocked. So who knows? And that's why I feel like the Giants are going to go with something crazy, and I'm thinking Makai Lemon.
Could be.
I'm thinking Makai Lemon. Arguably, with many prognosticators, the best wide receiver of the bunch. They say that he reminds everyone of a Amon-Ra Brown. You can't go wrong with Amon-Ra Brown. And Darnell Tate ending up to be a Art Monk. You can't go wrong with that either. So that's my assessment of what Darnell Tate reminds me of. So we're now on the clock with the New York Giants, and we're waiting because we do get the notification online before it gets through on the TV. So we're waiting for right now. That is really, really crazy.
Kansas City has moved up. Look, number 6.
So
Kansas City
just moved up to the number 6 position. They are going after a wide receiver at number 6.
You predicted this.
I did.
We predicted that Kansas City was going to move.
I did.
We didn't know where, but they moved up. Cleveland's out. Kansas City's at number 6.
Cleveland just moves down to the number 12 pick, I believe.
Yeah.
And there's other compensation.
So
right now we have breaking news.
Kansas City has moved
hold
up.
on. Oh shit! I'm always trying to play music. The breaking news. Go ahead, tell them. Kansas City has made a trade to move up to the 6th position for the Cleveland Browns, and the Cleveland Browns move down. We do not know the details of the trade.
This is exciting.
I told you all this was going to happen. I'm kind of surprised that the Arizona Cardinals stayed for Jeremiah Love.
We talked that they were going to Kansas City was going to move up. We thought that was going to happen.
Oh, I thought that, yeah, definitely.
I thought that as well, and it has happened. But I thought it was going to happen sooner, at number 3, not at number 6. But it happened anyways.
So we have a trade, and New York is on the clock. The New York Giants are rivals, which, by the way, we had a 4-game winning streak against the New York Giants. 2 years in a row, we've swept them, which is completely mind-boggling to me because throughout my whole entire life, when the Redskins Commanders were a dominant team and playoff team, we still split or got swept by them. So it's a nice little shift. And I'm going to say right now, regardless of who they get or who we get, because of Jaden Daniels, we stay ahead of the New York Giants and win both head-to-head matches next year.
I believe we can sweep them again.
Yeah, it's mismatches. And right now, I think Washington with healthy Jaden Daniels has nothing but mismatches in their favor offensively against the New York Giants defense. Absolutely. So we're waiting here for some an update. No! Wait, but hold on. No. No. The New York Giants select Arvell Reese of Ohio State.
I told you they were going to make their defensive group even more formidable.
So this doesn't make sense to me from a standpoint of having 3 outside linebackers playing edge. This leads me to believe they're draft or after the June 1st designation to save them some salary cap money. So right now, Admiral Reese to the New York Giants.
I felt it, people. I felt it.
Oh, crap.
I felt it. Now,
reality is, I'm the one that called the Kansas City trade, and he jumped on the bandwagon.
That's not true, but we're going to discuss it.
And he was right with the Alvaro Reese, and I wasn't jumping on that bandwagon because it didn't make any sense to me, considering they have a dynamic pass rush currently.
Now it's even better with Reese. It's even going to be better. And let's face it,
I don't think it's going to be
that kind of defense, they're going to be a big threat. They really are.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be interesting to see them with Reese.
It's a great pick in terms of the person they're getting,
it really is.
But it's not a great pick from the standpoint of where all these people are going to play. Go ahead. What happened?
No, Kansas City's on the clock. I thought they had.
Did you see the bubble come down? You can also do this.
Were the Saints at 8?
Yes.
Okay.
You can do this too.
I know. I got you.
Because for all your things. Arvell Reese to the Giants. That's a big one. Again, he's high on thinking they're going to be formidable. I think it's going to be a shit show because you can't put them all on the field at once. If you have Bailey, let me finish. If you have Bailey, if you have Burns and Abdul Carter on the field at once, you have a tremendously undersized line.
They're going to trade somebody.
We'll see. I already thought that. We've already let you know they're 5 minutes behind. We get the updates quicker on the ESPN app. So right now, Kansas City's on the clock. So you've been hitting. I kind of knew the Bailey. We both knew Vegas. Arizona was a shocker for both of us. You nailed the Giants. The Tennessee Titans shocked me with both of us with Tate. So we're now looking at the Kansas City Chiefs, who made a trade with the Cleveland Browns to trade up. Now, Kansas City is a unique beast. They have a quarterback that can make an average wide receiver dynamic. They have a quarterback that can make an average offensive line look good. They have a dynamic quarterback who is a Super Bowl champion and who is recovering from an ACL injury, and hopefully he stays out as long as he needs. We don't need him getting hurt again. I'm speaking of Patrick Mahomes. Of course. Their defense is also, I'm thinking they are going to go defense for Sonny Styles.
That's a good call.
I think it's defense with Sonny Styles, or I'm going to throw in a wrench. The best shutdown corner in the NFL, Mansour Lane of LSU. Let's take a look at this. What's your take on this? Don't steal my thunder.
I'm not thinking that at all, right? I'm thinking they need to shore up their offensive line, and I think they're gonna pick.
This is where Fano. They like Fano.
They
like what's his first name again? Spencer Fano.
I think
they do like Spencer Fano.
I think Spencer could go to Kansas City. Yeah. I'm going to lean towards Spencer Fano. I really do, because they needed help on that offensive line. Mahomes was running for his life there towards the end of the season.
Even when he won the damn Super Bowl, he was running for his life.
So
the NFL's gone crazy. The first team that gets an offensive line that can allow 5 seconds for a quarterback to pass
is going to win the Super Bowl.
Is going to win it everything every year. The offensive line. I don't need to be paid $50 million to coach a team to know that an offensive line solves a lot of problems. You keep the opposing defense on the field. You score points. You drain the clock. It just makes complete sense to me. But, I'm not getting paid.
We're talking Redskins football.
We're talking anybody's football. Get a damn offensive line.
Hogs!
We grew up with the Hogs blocking 6.
Hogs.
6. And now we can't have 5 blocking 4? Are you kidding me?
Unbelievable.
I've been saying this for decades. The NFL teams are retarded. You get an offensive line and you protect your quarterback. If Jaden Daniels had 5 seconds in the backfield to pass, we're scoring 67 points a game. All right, here we go. Again, my big soapbox of the night is an offensive line. Get your quarterback protection.
It would be amazing if Kansas City picked Spencer. I've got a feeling they just might do it.
But the talk with Kansas City moving up, and they don't need a running back because they got Kenneth Walker from Seattle in free agency.
So what's
now their receivers is Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, someone else, and
what's the missing piece at Kansas City?
In my opinion, it's an offensive line.
That's what I said.
But wait a minute, no. They lost McDuffie, their shutdown corner. They lost Leo Chenal, their great outside linebacker who signed with the Washington Redskins, Commanders. So that's why I'm leaning defense. Because if you can't stop anybody, there's some teams that you're not going to outscore.
Yeah, but if you get Mahomes enough time, he'll find somebody. So he needs time back there. He didn't stop running for his life. He got injured because he's running.
Which also kind of surprises me because Andy Reid was a disciple of the NFC East, and he knows protecting your quarterback and running the ball. And so he's been in Kansas City. He's been completely reprogrammed about dynamic. So I don't understand that either.
Ooh, could be picked.
Shut! I told you!
You were right.
I got it right! Hold on.
You were right.
With the number 6 pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, I called it first. Number 6, Mansour Delane of LSU to the Kansas City. I told you they're replacing Patrick McDuffie.
Right.
That was an excellent pick.
We're right.
They needed a shutdown corner because that's what makes their defense run. They got one. Mansour Delane.
Good for you.
All right, you guys, here we are now with the Washington Commanders, Redskins on the clock. So, with Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Love gone, we have not gotten any notification that Washington has traded down, which they would have already done so. So, I believe Washington is going to go.
I'm saying Sonny Styles.
With Sonny Styles or Arvell Reese. Oh, no, Arvell Reese is gone. Sonny Styles here. Sonny Styles, the replacement for Bobby Wagner.
That's right.
And the conversation with Sonny Styles from the day one has been, you can't pass him up because what if you get a Bobby Wagner? And Bobby Wagner in his prime, I would argue, is better than Ray Lewis in his prime. Ray Lewis was a fierce hitter and stopped the runs. Bobby Wagner was able to cover backs out of the back, rush the passer, stop the run.
He did everything.
And it's no disrespect to Ray Lewis because he was a nasty beast in the middle linebacking position. Both of them are great. And in their prime, either one of them would have been fantastic on any team. But because I'm a Washington Commander Redskins, I have a fond heart for
Bobby I have some other news. Oh, Cleveland has moved to 9, not 12. 9.
So then Kansas City had the 9th pick.
9.
So Kansas City only moved up twice? Very interesting.
Cleveland
I thought Kansas City had the 11th pick, guys. I'm sorry. We've been only focusing up to 7.
Cleveland is at 9 now.
So, well, that's where Kansas City was.
Yeah.
So, Washington's on the clock. What is your thoughts?
I'm thinking
Sonny Styles.
I'm thinking Sonny Styles.
We're both on Sonny Styles here. So then that also kind of throws some interesting things, I think, in their 3rd pick. If Washington can't move up to number 2 in a trade, will be a wide receiver. This draft is very deep in wide receivers. We've only heard about Makai Lemon, Jordan Tyson, and Carnell Tate there. And you've also started hearing about Omar Cooper Jr., Amari Cooper's son. No, not Amari Cooper. But anyway, Omar Cooper, and then another wide receiver. I forget his name. So after that, there are many wide receivers, and you will be able to find a dynamic player in the 2nd and in the 3rd round in the wide receiver position. That position has been the deepest in this draft, the wide receiver. Offensive tackles and guards are pretty deep. Running backs, no. cornerbacks, no. Safeties, no. And defensive line, no. So, yeah, it's really exciting to see here. Again, we're waiting for the Washington Commanders pick. They're on the clock.
Woo!
Wait! What'd they get? Did you see it?
Sonny Styles!
Woo! Yeah!
We hit that one on the nose.
With the number 7 pick in the NFL draft, the Washington Commanders, Redskins select Sonny Styles of Ohio State. Yay!
The next Bobby went.
Woo! I think that's an excellent pick for Washington.
Excellent.
Even though their offense is still lacking a wide receiving playmaker. Again, let me just tell you what a quarterback means when you have a franchise quarterback. When we look at Tom Brady in the New England Patriots, the only wide receiver that he has was all-world was Moss. That's it. He was able to make Julian Edelman a superstar, and other receivers. What was the other little white guy? Julian Edelman and the other guy? There were 2 little white guys. Anyway, he made them better than they were. Gronkowski was great, and he did what he could do without any wide receivers. So
nail that one, Pink.
So Tom Brady's ability to raise the level of the players is what we have in Washington with Jaden Daniels. So I'm not disappointed we didn't get an offensive player at this point. But right now, you cannot pass Sonny Styles, who was arguably the 3rd best defensive player on the draft, period. But Mansour Delane, mark my words, will be a superstar in this league. And the Kansas City Chiefs have always had shutdown corners. So, Washington, we got Sonny Styles at number 7. I think we solved the middle linebacker position, and we have a lot to look forward to. I'm really excited. How about you?
Super excited.
Super excited.
We needed somebody like Styles.
Well, he was the best available. That was a no-brainer. But
I'm just glad we got him.
They wanted Tate and Love first.
Yeah.
That was plain and simple. We didn't get them, but we got Sonny Styles. And you know what? A defense, a good defense, a good front 7, that also is as valuable as an offensive line because you get a dynamic offense off the damn field.
That's right.
So when you look at what Washington has done from no pass rushing to now a plethora, Kavion Chason, Obidiwe Owe, Leo Chenal, Charles Omenihu, 4 defensive pass rushing specialists. And now you add a dynamic linebacker to an improved linebacking core with Leo Chenal and Kayvon Chason. I think Washington did great by taking Sonny Styles. I'm a little disappointed we didn't get Jeremiah Love or Carnell Tate.
But still,
our offense is missing a second dynamic playmaker. But I think Washington did excellent by taking Sonny Styles, and that really, 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 really solidifies the front 7.
Let me throw this out. Tell me if you agree. Who is the next great receiver? Lemon, right?
The 3 great receivers in this draft, and I'm piggybacking off of all of the experts, is Carnell Tate. They labeled him as the most pro-ready wide receiver. His route running, his ability to get yak, his physicality, because he had poor speed technically for a receiver at 4.45, 1.5 seconds slower than most. But again, he reminds me akin to Art Monk, and Art Monk was spectacular even though he didn't have blazing speed. He beat every corner in the NFL. So, yeah, Carnell Tate. So then now you have, when you have the New Orleans Saints, I think now, but we're going to the wide receivers, your question. To me, there was only 4 wide receivers in this draft, maybe 5.
Okay. I don't want you to list them all. What I'm saying to you is I think we can still pick a good wide receiver.
We don't have another pick until 167. Number 3.
Who says we can't deal?
Well, we won't know because only the first round's going to be done tonight.
Who says we can't deal? I don't know.
So we'll see. We'll see. But after Carnell Tate, Mekhi Lemon, Jordan Tyson, Boston, and Omar Cooper Jr. and I keep forgetting his name. Other than that, there's a bunch of good wide receivers, but those are the 5 that are the best of the class. Those were the best of the class. So right now we have the normal things on the clock, but we're done. And this is our live draft show. We're going to end tonight with the Washington Commander Redskins pick of Sonny Styles at number 7.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Welcome to Washington, Sonny. We're going to love you.
We love you.
And you know how iconic is this?
What?
The only Sonny on our team, Jurgensen, passed away this year. Now we drafted another Sonny. How cool is that? Sonny still lives on in our legacy.
Let's say a little prayer for Sonny Jurgensen, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, especially for the Redskins. God bless you, Sonny. You're up there in heaven, throwing some footballs.
And send us some of that luck. Send us some of that divine intervention.
God bless you, Sonny.
Yeah, thank you, Sonny. Well, that's it for tonight, guys. I'm Robert. This is Henry, and we're just 2 guys on YouTube. Just 2 guys 2026 on YouTube.
Thanks for watching.
Subscribe and watch
with us.
Yes,
Subscribe.
We'll see you again.
Subscribe. We'll see you soon.
Yep, and thank you. This was awesome.
Thanks, guys.